Hello all, welcome to Demo Hour July 2022 edition, organized by hrtech.sg and hrtech.in, powered by Archily. Archily is incidentally the trusted partner for large enterprises in parsing, matching, and data enrichment. And they have been working with a lot of corporations globally. So in today's session, I'm really happy to showcase how we can leverage best-in-class HRMS solutions to enhance workplace productivity. A quick overview of hrtech.sg and IN. Today, we are happy to host about over 150 best-in-class HR technology providers on the Singapore marketplace. In fact, the Singapore market map that we host is supported by Institute for Human Resource Professionals, SHRM, Singapore Human Resource Institute, and Singapore Polytechnic. So if you want to choose HR technology providers across 8 different talent categories, you could log on to the www.hrtech.sg/marketplace. We also launched our India platform a few months back, and today with over 60 providers across 8 categories, it is one of the fastest growing HR tech marketplace. We started Demo Hour way back in 2019, and that was a pre-pandemic time. It was in the form of an in-person session where we used to host it in our WeWork office. We had a HR teams and the providers come over to do the demonstrations. Since the onset of the pandemic, we have moved to an on-demand webinar format. And we are happy to say over the past couple of years, we have had over 60 odd demonstrations by all of these HR technology providers, showcasing solutions specifically across categories like diversity, equity, inclusivity, and belonging, talent development, how to leverage technology for strategic decision making, and leveraging HRMS for the hybrid workforce, so on and so forth. But why are we having this topic today? The new age HRMS applications have significantly helped enterprises globally in enhancing their workplace productivity. As per the Global Talent Trends 2022 study by Mercer, over 55% of executives actually have shared concerns about workplace productivity, digital exhaustion, remote worker fatigue, all of those. In fact, 2 in 5 companies have started tracking the impact of remote working on productivity. This clearly shows that businesses across the globe are struggling today to implement measures that can improve productivity and also maintain work-life balance for employees by providing self-service option right at their hands. And this is where highly tech advanced smart HRMS applications have been helping business teams. How can HRMS solutions help promote productivity? For example, productivity monitoring and KPI measurement have become really important for enterprises in a hybrid remote workplace scenario. So they can have best-in-class performance management systems incorporated into it. HRMS applications also help in automating various manual processes that HR teams have been doing in a manual format, such as payroll systems, attendance, leave, claims, etc. All of these not only help improve speed and efficiency, but also presents a best-in-class consumer-grade experience for the employees because they are able to use self-service features. On account of this, the HR teams are actually able to move up the value chain and engage with employees more for strategic aspects rather than for tactical and operational aspects. This saves huge amount of time in terms of effort and hours for the HR teams. And data has clearly shown that leveraging HRMS applications and smart HR systems have reduced employee turnover, especially at a time when the Great Resignation is here to stay and talent retention is becoming very, very critical. So leveraging HRMS has become essential. As part of our research, we actually very closely track investments into HR tech startups globally. In 2022, in the first 6 months alone, over $9 billion of money has flowed into HR tech startups. Of this, 900 million has gone into startups that are focusing on the HRMS segment. So this clearly shows that a lot of money of venture capitalists are flowing into HRMS segment. In fact, the average deal size, if you look at it, has been highest for the HRMS segment. All of this necessitated the fact that we clearly needed to have a session today on how HRMS systems can help HR teams in enhancing productivity. And I'm extremely happy to have two expert HR leaders in our session today to witness these demos, to clarify questions on behalf of the many HR professionals who will be watching this in an on-demand format. We have Aarti Priyanka, who is the Vice President and Head of HR of State Bank of India, Singapore. And we have Karen Wang, a HR business partner at Accenture in Singapore. Both of them, I really need to thank for taking time of the busy schedule to be here. Thank you, Aarti. Thank you, Karen. And to present the demos, we have three best-in-class providers today. We have Benjamin Kroc representing Brio HR. We have Pratik Solanki representing Facto HR, and Kshitij representing Keka HR. I'm sure we're going to have a great session today watching the demos of these three providers. I now would like to invite Benjamin for his demonstration. Over to you, Benjamin.
All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Sriram, and thank you to the HR Tech team for having me on the show. I would say let's call it a demo show. So let me share my screen immediately, as I will share first a few slides about who we are at Brio HR, so that everyone can understand as a company what we stand for, as we believe it is extremely important for us to create this bond. Forever, Brio HR, we wanted to play a role in the HR community beyond providing the best platform. We always wanted to connect with our clients, with our users, to make sure that they have the best experience. So Brio HR, the full point is to help companies, SMEs, mid-market companies in Southeast Asia to get ready for the future of work. So we build a platform that we keep innovating on in order to prepare companies for the challenges they face today, tomorrow, and in 10, 20, even 50 years from now, which is, we believe, especially important as the pandemic and all the HR phenomenon that have happened and started or continued or been reinforced since then, make it all the more important to have the right platform, but more importantly, to have a platform that follows the new practices, that follows the changes that happen in the workplace. In just a very few simple words, what we want is to focus on what our users need. We are not trying to do anything else. We talk to hundreds of HR professionals, to also other stakeholders in companies that might be users or at least at some point involved in the decision to go on with, for example, Brio HR as their HRMS of choice. So we focus on very simple elements. First, easy to use, and I will show it to you in a second during the demo. We take great pride in the fact that our interface, despite accommodating for extremely complex, workflows, settings, and everything on the behind the scenes for the admin, for the HR, is still extremely easy to use in terms of the user interface, the user experience. It's built to scale. We have many of our clients who started with a handful of employees, 10, 20, 50, and now have 100, 200, 500 employees. And what they consistently tell us is that they don't have to change. They don't even think about changing a software because Brio HR grows with them. Simple pricing. I will not spend too much time on it. I encourage you to come and have a chat with us, but also very importantly, first-class support. As I said earlier, we believe in playing a role in the community. So even though we provide the software, we go above and beyond when it comes to support, when it comes to other HR matters, when it comes to providing value to the HR and broader SME community. Maybe a quick last slide, which I will not go into the detail of, but we work with all kinds of companies across the region and beyond, from fast-growing startups, retail and F&B, manufacturing, financial institutions. So all these, I would say, diverse set of clients and users is extremely important for us, because since day one, we wanted to help you no matter what is your own challenge. Even though some core HR issues are common and shared across HR teams, the day-to-day is not the same for everyone, yet we have built a platform that will cater for all this. All right, so now I will switch to the demo in order to give you a glimpse of what Brio HR can do. Okay, we are now on the Brio HR login screen. So back to the basics, of course, it's fully cloud native, so accessible anytime, anywhere. The demo I will show right now will be mostly focusing on the web, on the computer screen. But of course, we have a full-fledged mobile app that will allow you to perform all your day-to-day operations, be it checking your leave entitlement, applying for leave, approving the leave, snapping a photo of an expense claims and submitting it, and so on. All this, of course, can be done via our mobile app. I will just stick to the laptop screen for this demo. So as we are on the login screen, we have single sign-on integrations with the G Suite, with Microsoft 365, just again to make it extremely smooth for your users, for your employees, for the HR teams to log in. Right now, I will log in with my dedicated Brio HR demo account. And when I do so, the first thing that we see is that I land on my homepage. So the homepage is what some would call employee self-service, meaning that every single employee, every single user in the company will have access to their home. In the home, they will find on the left-hand side some key high-level information that they want to make sure is always up to date. They will find in the middle the modules to which you will have subscribed to as a company, because our offering is very modular, even though all the modules are integrated together when you subscribe to multiple modules. So it will include all the modules you will have subscribed to as a company, but also to which employees have been given access. So in the settings up there, I will not necessarily go into all the details right now, but we have a very, very deep user access rights management system, which allow you to easily decide who will have access to what information in the company, who will be able to edit it, and who will be able to access also the settings and so on. Okay. Before I go a bit further in the modules, on the right-hand side here, we see this little Who's Away panel, which is actually very convenient in order to give you a shortcut way to know who is here working or not. And this has proven particularly useful in the recent times, but also I guess in the future times when you have a distributed remote workforce, in order to know instantly who is currently working or not, so that you don't have to waste time, you know, walking over if those people are in the office, or even trying to give a few calls or send email reminders and so on. Instantly, you just highlight the range that you want to see, and Brio HR will tell you if everyone is here or if anyone is away. Okay. To take maybe a quick step back on Brio HR quickly, we have, besides the home screen, the feed, which is, some would call it kind of a Facebook for workplace kind of feature. So it's a digital news board where you can also communicate, for example, important company documents, important company policies, employee handbook, upcoming events with an event calendar as well. So we also include a lot of engagement and communication aspects to Brio HR. Back to the home screen, we also have a team screen, which will be mostly for managers. So if you are a manager, if you manage people, you will automatically have access to the team screen, which will allow you, instead of showing your own leave, to manage your team leave, team performance, and so on, as well as recruitment and onboarding processes for people who will join your team or are in the process of joining your team. The next one here up there is the HR Lounge. As its name implies, you will have access to pretty much every single information that is accessible to HR from all the modules: leave management, payroll management, expense claims, new joiner onboarding, performance management, recruitment, timesheet, and so on, depending on your subscription again, as well as company reports, and all the information about your employees that you can easily call, filter, extract, update, be it individually or in bulk and everything. So really the idea behind this is to have every single information connected to each other, easily accessible, all in one place that you can then easily update and maintain, rather than having multiple, Excel lists or Google Sheets or different softwares for different areas and so on. In terms of the reports, as I know it might be interesting for HR to understand what they can do, basically, we consider at Brio HR that you are the owner of your information, of your data. So we have a few ways to make it extremely easily accessible for you from our report builder, which will allow you across every single dimension of the platform, including some cross-functional reports, some cross-modules reports, to extract all the information in a customized way. So you will be able to choose very easily what information you want to see and just apply the fields and filters that you want by playing around with this panel here, so that you can very easily then export your report in a few different formats and save them as a favorite. You just give the report a name for later on. If you have a regular report, like a recurrent monthly report, you don't have to play with the fields and filters again. You will just have your list of favorite reports from which you will be able to pick, so that Brio HR will generate the report you want. So the next tab is a directory, basically company directory, which is both in list and in an org chart format. So you will be able, again, to easily understand and navigate through your information. You will be able, if you have access to edit directly some specific information from here, you will be able to access to some user profiles. You will be able to add vacant position and shape your organization chart directly from here, all in a very integrated way. Finally, the pending actions tab is actually very, very useful. So this tab will basically combine every single action that is pending for you in one single panel. As you can see, if I navigate through the software, this side panel doesn't move. So the idea is that if you want to get away with whatever task that you have to perform, for example, it's a Friday afternoon, you just want to be mind-free for the weekend, you will be able, from wherever in the application, to just open your list and pending actions and click, 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 complete them. It's not just a checklist, you can actually complete the actions directly from there. Okay, so I'm now back on the home screen, and maybe just to finish on this again, it's a very short time, 10 minutes to show such an extensive software. So I will just finish by illustrating one module so that you have a look and feel of Brio HR. As you can see here, Jack is still in onboarding. That's why we see this onboarding banner up there, which will always be there until the end of the onboarding. Brio HR helps you automate and digitize all the traditional modules such as leave, payroll, and everything, but also helps you to digitize the full employee journey from the offer letter phase, as soon as you decide that you will hire that person to join your company, up to the end of the probation. As soon as you want, as soon as you decide, your onboarding process can start. When an onboarding process starts, the employee, even if they are not yet in the company, will actually receive a welcome email and get an access to their own employee portal, which will look like this. In this portal, hello Jack, here is how your onboarding journey with your company look like. And then they will have full visibility on the coming steps, what they will have to do, what information they will have to provide, and everything. They will be able to check their onboarding progress. They will be able to access the company documents that you want to share as per your onboarding process, which is fully customizable as per your needs. So you decide what and when is shared to whom and so on. They will be able to perform the tasks themselves. So for example, fill up the about me information so that they can share a bit more about themselves to their future colleagues, but also the important HR information such as the gender, nationality, date of birth, and everything, basically all the information across payroll, uploading files, forms, and everything that is required to do during an onboarding. So this effectively replaces dozens of back and forth emails with forms to print, to scan, and so on and so on. Everything can be done digitally, and the HR doesn't have to key in anything. The HR, once everything is keyed in, will just have to review, validate, make sure that everything is okay. And then in one click, the employee file will be fully generated and everything will be set up. Finally, they will have information on their first day, including even direction on Google Maps. So these are small attentions that actually completely reinvent the new joiner experience, actually. They will have information about their HR contacts and some ways to get to know people in their teams, be it their manager or some other colleagues in their department. So that's just a very high-level glimpse of what Brio HR can do. Again, we help clients from 10 employees all the way to the thousands of employees in more than 15 countries. So if you feel you have a need that we can help with, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. May I now request Aarti and Karen to ask their questions to Benjamin?
Hi, Benjamin.
Hello.
Thanks for your presentation. Okay, Benjamin, I have one quick question. Okay, you did mention about a welcome email will be sent to the employees, right? So is there a possibility the announcement is made to the whole company? Do you have a feature for that?
Yes, exactly. If you recall, when I showed the feed, which is kind of the company digital notice board, actually, we have created this to help HR without too much manual work to engage and communicate with their employees. And in this board, in addition to be able to post about company news and so on manually if needed, if required, automated posting such as when new joiners come or when there is a birthday, for instance, or a few things like this can be set up so that, you know, the HR will be able to make sure that those things happen, those things are communicated without having, again, to follow up and make sure that they are on time when there is a birthday in the morning and so on.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Your software is a cloud-based software, right?
Exactly, fully native.
All right. Do you do local-based server-based settings as well? Local server?
Yes, exactly. So our servers are, you know, in line with the PDPA requirements that are prevalent in Southeast Asia as well. And we have fully localized, actually, not only the server side, but also the data management in terms of the front end, in terms of the user interface as well. And in other areas, such as, for example, we do full-fledged payroll and compliant payroll for Singapore, for Malaysia, and for other countries.
Okay, so what is a cloud security you use for your software?
So actually, we rely on the AWS infrastructure, Amazon Web Services infrastructure, and there is a lot of you know, process components, but also technical components of security. So encrypted information when it's in transit and so on are all state of the art, using the AWS managed services, which are best in class in the industry when it comes to security.
Okay, I did remember you mentioned that if the employees can change their particulars or if they want to add on, they can do that, right?
Exactly. When using our user access rights management, the HR will decide, actually. The HR will decide what information can employees edit themselves versus other information that employees cannot edit. And there is a third mode, which is employees can edit, but the change is only reflected when HR will have reviewed and approved. So there is a request management.
Yeah, that was my question. Thank you, Benjamin. Over to Karen.
Thank you, Aarti.
Thanks, Aarti. Thanks, Benjamin. Hey, hi, Benjamin.
Actually,
thanks for your presentation. Actually, I like one part here, who is away part, which you can show the people who are absent, right? So on your homepage, on that part, so how you're going to set the people who is showing on the absent, right? For example, imagine if the firm is quite large, and at the same time, maybe we have thousands of people who are on leave or who are away. So how you do such kind of the setup by team, by location, or what else?
So actually, yes, and you're right. It's a popular feature because everyone remembers a time where they have to, struggle to find that someone is finally away. So you will not get that answers that you were looking for and so on. Actually, you can filter and you can do a lot of setup with that. So as you say, in large companies, it's important to filter by actually multiple dimensions, which might include the location, but often includes the team, like your own team. You want to see as a manager, whoever is reporting to you directly or indirectly, you can do that. Of course, department as well. I think what's important to note is that, it just tells you when, as an employee from the homepage. So of course, managers and HR will have more information, but from the homepage as an employee, it just tells you really who is here or not. It doesn't give you any confidential information about the reason for the absence or anything like this. So it's really just a shortcut to not run after someone who is just not working today. But of course, you can filter to identify more easily the scope. If you are in marketing and you need to see someone in finance, definitely you will be able to check in 1 second if this person is here or away.
Understand. So means the user will have the flexibility on the filter function. They can choose.
Exactly.
That's great. Okay. And then my second question is actually on your HR launch page, I see there are a couple of the functions towards to recruitment, onboarding, performance. That's pretty good, right? So how about learning and development?
So we have learning and development that is, I would say, present across many modules. We feel that this learning and development is not necessarily segregated process and so on. But for example, to give you an illustration, in our performance management module, you have two components that fit to the learning and development area. One is the employee development plan. This allows to, document short, mid, long-term objectives, define some actions which might be training to follow in order to reach those objectives, depending on where you are in terms of competencies, where you want to be, and so on. So this is a very important component as part of our performance management plan, which fits to the learning and development. Still in the performance management plan, you can plan for training for the coming performance management cycle. So let's say you review the performance quarterly or yearly, which we allow you to do no matter what. You will be able to say during the next quarter or during the next year, we would like you to follow these few trainings. And finally, all this is combined in the employee file, in the employee digital file, where you really have all the information across all dimensions of your employees, including the training and certifications, history and track record.
Yeah. Thanks. I think it answers my question. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you very much, Benjamin, for your presentation. I would like to invite Pratik Solanki from Facto HR for his 12-minute session. Over to you, Pratik.
Thank you, Shri. Hi all. So I'll start with a brief introduction. We are a Facto HR. Facto HR is a modern, mobile-first, plug-and-play, and hire-to-retire HCM solution that enables businesses to automate their daily HR function, simplify talent discussion, and deliver actionable insights to build a great place to work. We got 18 plus years of experience into the HR domain, and we are trusted by some of our strategic partners such as SAP as well as Microsoft. In terms of awards and recognition, we were recognized by World HRD Congress as well as ITWAR News under the category of Best HR Software. And we were also recognized by CrossDesk under the category of Happiest User Award. Currently, we are working with 10 plus industries, 1,500 plus customers, and almost 1.5 million plus strong user base who are accessing our platform either through a mobile application or through a web portal. Some of our marquee customers such as Tata Steel, Cycle Agarbatti, Denso Group, Murugappa Group, Bombay Stock Exchange, Zydus Group, Blue Dart, and Akshay Patra Foundations. To all these customers, we have given a solution as per their business requirement. And in terms of different modules available to offer, so it's a completely HR suite. Again, as a customers, we give them a complete freedom where they can choose any of the modules which they wanted to get implemented. So this entire modules we have divided into two separate aspects. One is the complete operations HR, which includes core HR, attendance leave, face recognition, geofencing, payroll loans advance, expense management, and the other aspect, which is a strategic HR, which includes recruitment management, performance management, learning management, employee engagement. So all these aspects and all the models are interconnected. Secondly, one of the important aspect which we offer, it's completely a mobile first approach. So starting from the day one when I'm marking an attendance till my exit, all the different functions I can perform directly through the mobile application, and this app is available in Android as well as iOS device. I have also connected my mobile phone over here. Yes, so see all these different functions I can perform directly over here. In the middle of the screen, your company logos will appear, and here I can access all these different functions, whether it is a startup where we have worked out on the employee engagement, and even from the performance point of view, any feedback which I've received in terms of continuous feedback. So those feedbacks can be referred, any important announcement from the HR side, so that can be visible by an employee from here. Secondly, more important, especially into the current hybrid work environment, it is always important to know how our employees are feeling. So on a daily basis, they can share their mood, how I'm feeling today. Plus there is a wish celebration corner where any of our colleague who is celebrating their birthday, work anniversary, marriage anniversary, so those things, and I can actually greet them from the app itself. And the complete management speak option, so our leaders wanted to share their thoughts and learnings with the employee so that they can share it. And very important from the engagement perspective, which is survey and feedback mechanism. So you can conduct different type of surveys on the platform where we can have an input from the employees, and as an employee I can give feedback directly from the mobile app, and even there is a exclusive web portal is also there, so I can refer that as well. Plus other aspects on the mobile app, such as marking an attendance with the help of geolocation, plus selfie punch or face recognition. Plus I can have my pay slips directly over here. I can download my IT statement, provide a necessary investment declarations, calendar part. Plus most important one is the approval mechanism. So no need to be on my web portal. I can directly take necessary actions from the mobile app itself, whether it is attendance correction, leave approval, a goal review, then approval for the expense reimbursement, request for a shift change, incentive approval. All these things I can manage from the mobile app. Very important, the chatbot. So we got inbuilt bot available over here. So this bot is going to function as a L1 support or a personal assistant of our employee. Yeah, so I'll be coming back to the web version of our system. Yeah, so here the entire system can be designed in such a way where each user can access the platform based on the privileges provided. Say we are multi entity organization where each entity may have a different set of users, and within entity, say particular user can access certain modules of the HR suite. So that level of bifurcations can be done and role rights can be created. Secondly, one of the USP of FactorHR is the entire configurations we have given into the front end. So we go for a DIY concept where we actually train our HR partner in terms of configurations, so that if they wanted to make any changes considering the current hybrid work environment, so the dependency will not be on Factor. They can manage all the different changes related to organization. They can manage their complete attendance policy, shift mechanism, roster planning, the complete different leave management, a different policy for a different set of employee, then a complete setup for the payroll where they can manage different components, different CTC structure, different formula to calculate the value of CTC component. So all this setup is available in front end, including the payroll statutory as well. Now, in terms of the different DIY part we have seen. Now then a report writer. So there are exclusive reports available for each and every module. But as a HR and as an admin user, if I wanted to build any report based on the data available in systems, then I can always go for such report. So I can have a complete report writer tool available where I can build the report based on the data available over here. Secondly, in terms of integrations, so We have a direct integrations available with SAP or like Microsoft or any other tool with the help of API based integration or SFTP based integrations, especially in terms of expense JV or payroll JV point of view. You can build your JV from the front end, whether it is in your finance system is a SAP or maybe Oracle or maybe a Tally or maybe Paybook, all the different JV setups you can manage from the front end. See, it is very easy. I can choose a type of JV which I wanted to build and the integration type, whether it is with SAP, QuickBooks, Zero Accounting, Tally, or any other systems. So multiple integrations can be done, especially from the Factor HR point of view. Say a customer is having a SAP environment at their place and they wanted to use some of the modules of Factor HR. So yes, Factor HR can coexist with SAP environment where we can have an API based integration, so data exchange can happen seamlessly without having any manual intervention. Then from the dashboards and reporting point of view, so entire predefined dashboards are available on platform where I can access multiple details related to our employee strength, related to salary detail, related to absenteeism, related to count of employee, related to my expense detail in terms of travel and related reimbursements. So all those dashboards are pre-built and can access at any point of time. And very important aspect from the dashboard point of view, we can actually schedule this dashboard. So on a predefined time, system will capture a screenshot of this dashboard, paste it into the body part of an email and send it to the respective persons. So this can be scheduled, and on a predefined time, this dashboard will be available in my mailbox itself. So I don't even need to come back to the portal and then see the dashboard. Secondly, from the different modules aspect, so it's a complete suite where we give the choice to the customer. So starting from the recruitment, so it can begin with the manpower requisition. This requisition can approved. Once the requisition is approved, then we can have a CV parsing function. We can have an integration with job sites. Even we can have a round of interview schedules where interviewer can give feedback directly from the platform. And once candidate got shortlisted, then we can have a complete kind of onboarding thing where we can send an invite link from the system itself. And once they got the link, they can start feeding all their personal details, including their documents which we required. And on the day of joining as an HR, I can actually use those details to verify with the physical documents, and I can approve those details so that my other HR colleague who look after the entire employee creation and other aspects, they can use those data to create an employee master. So as an HR, we don't need to do all this data entry, which is already done by a candidate. Then a complete performance management thing. So it's a complete goal driven where we can set the goal sheet for each and every employee can submit their self review either from a mobile application or from a web portal. Even a part of performance management thing, we have enabled continuous feedback where I can receive feedback from my manager and other subordinates on a runtime basis. They don't need to wait till the review cycle is initiated, and same reviews will be available in my review as well. Even there will be a 360-degree review as well, where we can also invite other nominees. Say, for example, my subordinates, my peers, maybe external agencies such as customers or maybe the other vendor partners. They can also give feedback about the performance, not maybe on the goals, but maybe yes, definitely on competencies. They can give feedback. So all these aspects we have covered in terms of performance management. Other operational modules in terms of attendance management, where different ways of attendance capturing are there in terms of mobile-based attendance, web check-in, check-out, integration with your existing biometric setup, where even employee can do the regularizations either from mobile or from the web portal, and based on the request raised, system will notify the different stakeholders as per the workflow defined. And the beauty is the moment I receive any notifications about the request, so as a manager, I don't need to be even on mobile app or on a web portal. I can immediately take actions over an email itself. Secondly, say for example, there are 10-15 members who reports to me. So sometimes there may be a chance where I miss to approve any actions. Then there is an inbuilt reminder notification is available for the manager, where they will got reminder for all the pending approvals, where I can see the different type of requests which is pending at my end. So that way this can be done. Secondly, from the payroll point of view, this attendance and leave will be synced with the payroll. So on a single click, I can run the salary, and based on the salary process, I can manage different payroll statutory, pay slips, registers, even in India, the complete investment declaration part. So complete IT declarations I can manage from the mobile app as well as web portal. Now, especially from the IT declarations point of view, we have not restricted ourselves till providing a declarations and uploading and proof, but as an employee, I can actually project my tax liability, and based on the projections, I can also modify my declarations. Even so, I think there are other
Sorry.
modules are also available. So I think we need a separate session where we can have further deep dive. Maybe I'll request the jury member, if any questions to me, I'll be happy to answer.
Thanks for the presentation. So actually, I understand from the demo, right? It's like the end-to-end employee experience you cover from the onboarding, the performance management, all these. But I have one question, especially from the employee experience whole life cycle perspective, right? So actually, exit or separation is also one of the very important stage. I'm wondering whether you have the specific application for the alumnis, how to connect with people, with the people who already left.
Okay, so from the exit point of view, so the way we have onboarding available, similar way there will be a complete exit process will be there, where employee can put up the resignation either from mobile or from a web portal. Once the resignation happen, it will go for a separate chain of acceptance. Once acceptance happen, then there will be a second phase count, which is called departmental clearance, where we'll have a clearance on a different task. Say IT will give us a clearance, maybe accounts and finance team will give us about any no dues. And once we have a clearance, then there will be a task, that is third phase, which is called employee FNF. Now, after FNF in system, we have a facility, we can keep this ESS platform open for a certain period, so that if they wanted to download, say, previous pay slips or any other information, so they can have it from the self-service portal itself.
I see. So this is about exit management, right? So, but actually, I think my question is more about post-exit. Let's say the employee already left the organization, but it still could be some engagement between the alumni and the organization, because the world is small, right? Rehire is always be there. So, so I'm just wondering, are there any application or the systems will be play the role as the engagement or connect between our alumni and the firm?
Okay, so I think there is a scope of improvement over here. Let me make a note of this point. So probably kind of alumni portal you are asking for, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering whether you have this function or not.
In fact, there is a scope of improvement over here. I'll make a note of it. I will definitely talk to my, the roadmap team, and we'll definitely focus on this aspect as well. Thank you, drawing our attention towards, this important aspect.
Thanks. I think I only have this one question. Thanks.
Okay.
Over to you, Adi.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. That was a good presentation, Patrick. Yeah, so I just want to check with you regarding the time attendance. You were talking about the geo location, right? So right now, there is a kind of hybrid arrangement. People are working from home. How do you track?
So in case of working from home, we can actually allow them to have attendance either from the mobile application or from a web portal, where they can do check-in and check-out. Now, if they're working from home, you can also enable geo fence over there, considering their home locations. And once they're available in that periphery, then only they will be able to mark the attendance. Secondly, we can also provide an option where they can fill their timesheet. So with the help of timesheet also, you can check their productivity, like what amount of time they spend on which task.
Okay, so means that they have to give the home address and they can't work from elsewhere, right? That's what you mentioned.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
okay.
if geofence restriction is put, then definitely they have to be that particular place only.
Okay. Okay. So does this software provides alerts for, like, say, for example, confirmation alerts, probation, anniversary, all this? Does it provide any alerts for it?
Yes. So for example, there is a probation period defined in my employee master. So my manager will receive a email notification. Then they can give their feedback about my performance during this probation period. And based on the input received from the manager, as an HR, I can take a call whether to extend the probation period or we are going to confirm this employee.
Okay.
Same
So
way.
this can be done online. Everything is
Yeah, it will be
online.
online. It will be completely online. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all from my end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prateek.
Thank you,
Over
Shri.
over to Kshitij from KK HR.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so to start with the presentation about KK, right? So the first thing is the company introduction. So to talk about the company introduction, KK, like we started this company somewhere close in 2015, right? So since then, it has been a phenomenal journey for all of us because the kind of visibility that the space has provided us in terms of how businesses work and how the cultures are built, that has been a phenomenal progress so far. If I talk about our most recent milestone, to keep it short, we somewhere have close to 6,000 plus organizations working with us, with somewhere close to 1.1 million users across the globe. So, the software is available on App Store, Play Store, or, if you want to access the web version, you can access it from any of the browsers. In terms of features of the platform, it's a hire to retire platform. So from establishing the fundamental core HR platform where you can manage the database and all the other aspects, you can take care of the HR ops like team, time off management, attendance management. Comes performance management is again an included function which you can take care from the system. So there are more than 200 plus features available in the platform, from talent acquisition to talent management. All of the exercises can be done from the platform itself. Now, in terms of so this was a quick walkthrough of our platform. Let me quickly move into the system to give you a glance of the system. All right, so this is how the dashboard of the system looks like, right? So any user, right? So first of all, we don't have separate instances. Whatever role is assigned, whatever permission is assigned to a user, accordingly, the user will see the system. So like, let's say if it's an end user, the number of tabs will be limited. If it's a manager, maybe some tabs will increase. And being, let's say, an administrator, you will have a full access of the system. Now, as whatever user I am, the dashboard will reflect all the important information for me, right? So from any holidays which are upcoming to, let's say, any of my teammates who's not working, all of that is on the dashboard itself. We also have an engagement platform inscribed into the platform where you can take care of the complete, so any kind of posts, sharing, liking, all of that exercises can happen between the team. You can have a department level walls, team level walls, or the organization level walls, and all these posts and all can happen over the platform. So this is right. So let me quickly move into the base of the system. So any HR automation journey for any organization will always begin with a core HR automation. Now, to define what core HR automation is, the first thing that happens whenever any organization start an automation journey is to build their fundamental organization structure. Now, every organization has a certain structure. Like, let's say over here, I have placed some of them: business unit, department, locations, cost centers. So we will identify and create your organization structure. On top of this organization structure, we are going to import your employee database. Right. So, once on top of the structure, the employee database comes, the next exercise would be to map user to user, right? Who reports to whom? Definitely everybody reports to somebody. So based upon that, the organization tree gets created. So this sole piece of the system is where, it's the core HR platform, because most of your workflows will always work on this streamlined structure, which is there, the organization hierarchy structure. So this is something which works at the base of the system. Any point of time, any new employee comes in, joins your organization, you can always add a new user into the system, which will, keep the complete organization structure intact. Right. So this, this being the fundamental of it, right? So I'll quickly move into different features of the platform. So let's say from a user perspective, if I begin. So let's talk about the employee perspective. So from an employee perspective, let's say if I want to apply for leaves, I will have a very clearly vibrant dashboard available for me where I can see any leaves that I have applied and time offs that I have applied, my weekly and monthly pattern of consuming the leaves. I can also look at my leave balances, whichever way they are, right? So whatever configurations you'll make, accordingly, the leave balances will be visible to the user. Now, other than this, what we have done in our system is we realize that a lot of times the menial tasks that HR have to do from day to day, right, that can be addressed very seamlessly from the system. Now, what are these menial tasks? Now, let's say leave policy creation is one menial task, right? So as you have a system, if you have to create a leave policy for yourself again over an Excel, send it to employees, take an acknowledgement and do all of these exercises, it will also always going to be a cumbersome task, and it can always, you know, go wrong, right? So for that, everywhere in the system, you will see a policy generation happening based upon your configurations. So whatever configurations you make, accordingly, the complete policy documents get generated, and employees will have a very end-to-end visibility on this, which will help them in understanding that, you know, how they can apply time off, how, you know, what are the restrictions and all, right? So all of this becomes extremely easy for the end user. We also have, you know, from the functional side, we have focused a lot, right? So let's say if I talk about application of leave, right? So there is a team leave calendar we have given. Now, as a user, as soon as I select the period, any of my peers or my teammates, if they're on leave, the system is going to notify me. So this helps me in planning my leaves in a more effective manner. So all of this, you know, so this was the leaves. Now, let's say if I talk about, right, let's say if I talk about the attendance, right? So again, all the 8 different kind of mechanisms of attendance are available in the platform. So from like, let's say, you know, a very clear visibility on the dashboard will be there for the users, where they can see what time they started working, what time they started ending, if they were on time, if they were late. All of this information is very clearly populated to them. We have 8 different mechanisms of applying attendance into the system. So from web clock-ins to, let's say, your hardware biometric devices, cards, right? You can integrate all of that. We also have facial recognition, mobile based, location tracking based, right? So there are more than like 8 methods which are currently available in the platform. You can use a mix of these policies, and you can create a very beautiful, you know, attendance management policy for yourself in the system. We also have brought in automations related to all the modules. So now let's say in terms of attendance, right? So there are a lot of times, there are a lot of criteria on which your attendance policy depends. Like, let's say people coming late, or, you know, work hours not being completed. So all these different kind of tracking policies you can also build into the system, which will help you in bringing in more discipline in your workforce. Right. So other than this, we also have modules like, let's say, on expense and travel management, right? So employees can go claim their expenses directly from the system. They can upload their bills and take care of all these exercises. Other than this, we also have an employee grievance redressal module, where employees can come and they can raise tickets, right? So you can create whatever categories of grievances you want to create, and you can feed in the tags and escalation metrics and everything in it. And automatically all of this, you know, will be employees can come and they can raise their tickets from here at any point of time they face issues. Now, one beautiful thing about the system is that the system has dashboards for every specific module. Now, let's say, right, so let's say starting with the core HR module, right? So as you are adding and removing the employees on the platform, you will have a very clear visibility in terms of what is the gender ratio, employment type, worker type, right? Years in organization, right? So all these dashboards are pre-built, which you can export in PDF and Excel format any point of time you require. As you're adding and removing the employees, the growth and retention metrics are again being managed. So you can see month on month how the, you know, like how the employees are, what is the growth rate, what is the retention rate. All of this is available. We also have given the intelligence widgets, right? So like, let's say attrition, right? So attrition is something which is pretty critical to analyze. Now, let's say for 2021, I can see which of the months the attrition was high, right? On what reasons the, you know, whatever common reasons, you can feed the common reasons for exits, and you can figure out which are the most troubling reasons because of which you're losing your workforce, right? So all these different kind of analysis is available. Like, let's say the age-based, gender-based, performance rating-based, what, you know, so you will be able to analyze what is the key reason of an employee leaving the organization, right? In terms of from an end user perspective, onboarding is again a very beautiful feature that we have built. So in terms of onboarding, if I give you a quick glance onto the dashboard itself, it will give you a very clear idea. So let's say you can build in all the different stages of onboarding that you have for a new employee, and you can see which of the people are under which phase, right? So like, let's say if I look at this employee and I click on it, in a bird eye view, I will have a visibility how many of the onboarding tasks were assigned to them, how many of them in progress, how many of those tasks have been completed. So, you know, these dashboards will help the employee a lot in migrating from one screen to another. Now, let's say in terms of, you know, from the onboarding perspective, every employee will also have a profile. So, you know, where you can feed the any inspiration related questions that you have. right? So system, again, we have a timeline feature available as well, where employees can see if there are any kind of progress that's happening, right? So any job title being changed, salary being revised, all of that will be captured in the employee timeline. So it's usually said in the HR, from an HR perspective, the more visibility or transparency we provide to the employee about the career path, more the retention is. So all of these features are designed from that perspective, from documents collection to letter generation. You can take care of any function that is required. We also have an inventory management available in the system. So any kind of assets that you provide to your employees can also be, mapped against them. Again, this module is going to speak to your onboarding and exit processes both. Right. So other than this, our key focus, again, we also have a payroll module where you can completely process the payroll for the employees. You can feed in all the different information about their salary, any salary revisions being happening, right? The pay slips generations, all of these fundamental things are again available in the system. Other than this, right? So these were the core HR functions. One of the most strongest attribute of our platform is our timesheet module and our performance management system. Now we have built a continuous performance management system. So, being a continuous system, you can build in dynamic goal sheets, right? We have all the different methodologies of performance inscribed in our system, from OKR to KRA KPI. Any of the methodologies that you might want to use is available in the system. So let's say if you take a look at in the screen, right, for this employee, I can very clearly see what are the objectives set, what is the progress happening on the objective. Clicking on any of the objective, you will have a very clear visibility that how the employee is progressing towards completion in that objective. The audit logs are being automatically tracked, and all of this, it's collaborative in nature. So when I say collaborative, the continuous performance management will always require a collaboration side. So let's say if employees are updating the progress against their goals, right? So let's say if I have a target of $1 million, against that $1 million, whenever I close my deals and I am updating my progress, all of that progress reports will again be visible to the manager. I can also, as an individual, any point of time I face issue, I can just go update my progress, right? Like let's say while updating the progress, I can choose the status of my goal. So if it is at risk and at need attention, the managers and the line managers are going to get a trigger that, you need to assist Kshitij and he's stuck somewhere. So to build this dialogue is what, the continuous performance management is, and this is what we have built in our platform. So this was a quick walkthrough onto the system, right? So we also have some other modules like pulse surveys and other strategic modules available in the system as well. So I'll give you some of the screens which I previously kept. So it will give you how much employee engagement is happening month on month. You can look at the surveys and results. Same happens with the analytics of surveys. It gives you a very clear visibility in terms of all the different kind of pulse surveys or surveys that you're conducting in the organization. So this, the product is huge. I basically cannot cut this down into a smaller piece anymore. So I think we can switch the questions part, Sriram.
Thank you very much, Kshitij. Completely understand. Over to Aarti and Karen.
Hi, Sachin. Thanks for the presentation. That was nice. Okay, my first question is, do you have a recruitment application tracking system?
Yes, we have an ITS.
Okay, so how does it work?
So you can do, you can configure different kind of hiring flows into the system. It integrates with your career page. So any point of time, let's say if there is any requisition is required to be raised, all the important people, you can give the requisition rights.
Hi, Aarti and Karen. I am from Team KK. If he joins back, certainly he would be taking the conversation. But if to answer that question, yes, there can be multiple flows which can be created, and it can be added to a career page. So all those applicants who apply on a particular position can reach directly to your inbox, and that is how you can completely onboard and close that position, and even generate offer letters and send them links to upload their documents and do the entire onboarding journey.
Okay, thank you. And how about the exit module? How does it work?
Right. So Kshitij, I'm just answering one of Aarti's questions, and then you can take over. So Aarti, basically exit management happens wherein for whatever reason that Kshitij showed the attrition analysis, they put in a particular set of reason for why they want to resign. Then there is a process flow that happens wherein clearances are taken from different departments, and then their their full and finals and stuff are processed. Over to you, Kshitij. I hope I answered your question, Aarti.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, my next question is, okay, what kind of cloud security you're using?
Sure, Aarti. So we have multiple security measures, and we are proud to say that we are as secure as Microsoft Azure, because we have 2 slides in our corporate module just dedicated to security, because cloud system, enterprises definitely consider security as one of the key points, and wherein they consider a potential application for their business. So just to give you an idea, we are GDPR compliant, we have ISO certification, we are SOC 2 compliant, we have disaster recovery in place, DDoS protection, VAPT and security alerts. The list can go on, but probably you will get an idea. We are very secure, and we do take security very seriously, because we understand that HRMS becomes a spinal cord of a business, and entire business's information is there. So we do take that very seriously.
Okay, is your software customizable? Like I believe the software is more for India based, right?
Yeah, no, with the system, as an HRIS system, the system can go global, but the SaaS software, the roles are pretty much accessible. We have a role-based access. So, in terms of that, it's flexible, but in terms of adding new features, it needs to go through our product team. So, of course, integrations and all work. So, it's a very broad question, to be honest, Aarti. So, customization really is very subjective in nature. But yeah, we do have APIs available, which integrates to a lot of external applications.
Okay, thank you, Hima.
Sure, Aarti, thanks.
Hi, Karen here. I have one question, maybe followed by Artie's question regarding the recruitment, right? So during the recruitment stage, whether the candidates will be able to log in your website to check the status, means which will be the digital experience for them, or that's only like the recruitment check system, which will be accessible by the recruiter and the HR only.
Yeah, so basically, I'll take that, Karen. So basically, until the employee joins in, all the alerts are basically delivered to their email box. So, so whatever set of, the Kanban kind of a board that you saw, which each stage being, customized according to a particular company's, onboarding journey, they'll get an email alerts on which, they have received, they have accepted, the offer on, and when the, overall communication has been going on. So once they on their official journey, when official joining date, they do get their login, and they can complete the rest of the task from there.
Okay, I have the next question is regarding the survey. So at the end of the demo, actually I see the page of the survey, right? So there are lots of the survey options available. How does it work?
Right. So in terms of surveys, right? So you can configure the different kind of categories of surveys into the system. So like from relationship with manager to your growth to happiness index, you can, all the important attributes which are there for an employee, you can configure those categories of surveys, and you can define a frequency of those surveys. So these full surveys are again being pushed on the mobile application. So it gives it's extremely easy for an end user to participate in the surveys at all times.
So this function will be available for the HR only, or the project manager, or the team manager? How to define that? Yeah.
Right. So it's a selective, role-based access that we have for all features. So basically, you can assign whichever stakeholders you want to be able to create surveys and launch. That's possible in the system.
Okay. Thanks. I think that's all from my end. Thanks.
Thank you, Kshitij. In fact, just to answer one question from Aarti, most of the product demos that we showcase here are for multiple countries, and not just specific for a particular country. So some of the examples that he cited could have been very India specific, but all of these could be customized for multiple geographies, as all the products that we showcase have customers across the globe. So I just wanted to add to that. Thank you once again to the team KK HR, Facto HR, and Brio HR for showcasing these demos. And special thanks to Aarti and Karen for being here and sharing your expertise and all your questions on behalf of the numerous HR professionals who will be watching this on YouTube. Thank you once again, and we look forward to hosting all of you in the next edition of the Demo Hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.